just sitting here waiting for a tummy tuck. I ain't never did nothing like this before in my life. I don't know how people keep doing this, like coming back and doing stuff over and over. Got to be crazy. Okay, so some of you may know that I got a tummy tuck a little over a month ago. And there was a lot of things that people did not tell me about a tummy tuck. I'm not thinking it's going to be easy, but I'm thinking, it ain't going to be that bad. So I decided to do a video of all the shit they didn't tell me about a tummy tuck. So maybe it don't happen to everybody, but this is some of the stuff that happened to me. And I'm still in the recovery process, so I just thought I would inform some people. Okay, so let's start by the first things that happen. Okay, so you have to be a certain BMI to get a tummy tuck. I've been told my whole life I'm 5'5", so my weight was right there for the BMI for the tummy tuck. I get there, the girl tells me I'm 5'4", which throws the BMI off a little bit. She talked to the surgeon, he said it's fine. Then my blood pressure was extremely high. And my blood pressure does that whenever I'm in a doctor's setting and for some reason I'm just nervous, so it's high. So she proceeds to tell me, like, if your blood pressure is high, tomorrow, the day of surgery, they're going to cancel it and you can't get a refund. So of course you're telling me this, you're going to raise my blood pressure even higher. So now I'm pissed off because she's telling me I'm 5'4" and my blood pressure is too high. So I leave and I'm thinking like, well, I did have coffee that day. So now we're at surgery day. I get there, my blood pressure is fine. I did some breathing exercises. I'm ready to go. And I see other people. I think somebody got a BBL. Somebody got their breast done. And I'm thinking, ooh, my surgery is scheduled early. I think they told me to be there at 6 a.m. I'm thinking, ooh, my schedule's early, so I'm probably first. But coming to find out, I don't know what time they started doing surgery, but I was like the third person. So I'm in there and I'm just waiting. They done hooked the IV up. My nerves are shot to shit because for some reason, as I got older, I got scared, being scared to be put to sleep. So I'm in there basically panicking, about ready to back out. But I'm like, the anesthesiologist was like, well, you're already here, you're already in it. So the only thing you can do is go through it. So I was like, okay. Okay, so now, y'all, it's time for me. I got my gown on. I got my compression socks on. I'm like, okay, it's time to, get this fat removed off my stomach. So I'm still panicking. So they take me back there. Now, mind you, this is not no little, like, office procedure. This looked like a full-fledged hospital room. Like, that's how it's set up. You're laying on this bed. They push you through these double doors into this big surgery room. So now I'm looking, I'm like, oh Lord, my blood pressure gonna go up. So she gave me some medicine to relax me. As soon as she put the oxygen on my face and told me to take 3 deep breaths, I was out. I woke up, wrapped in the binder, the foam's in the binder. Stomach just felt flat as heck. Now I'm gonna put some pictures, videos to show you how my stomach looked there directly after. And ooh, when I saw my stomach, I'm like, okay, did he like give me some ab etching? Because it's like chiseled on the sides and it's like a deep line in the middle. And I'm like, it's like my abs is etched. But I kind of already had, like, you could see abs, but I just had that fat hanging at the bottom. So I'm looking, when I finally unwrapped to shower, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, okay, like, I might need to go back and have him give me a breast lift. So I'm like, I'm still sore and stuff, but the pain wasn't bad to where I needed to take the Percocet. I didn't take the Percocet at all. Percocet's still sitting here. I didn't take any pain meds because to me, the pain wasn't really that bad. Okay, so first thing they didn't tell me, you got to sleep on your back with your legs elevated. I kind of figured that you gotta sleep on your back, but it was so uncomfortable because you have to sleep that like that for 2 weeks. You have this drain on one side, and as I'm sleeping on my back, my booty is just getting sore. It was like I couldn't get comfortable. So I guess that's why they were saying take the Percocet, because you're so uncomfortable. You take the Percocet to knock you out. So I'm like, they kept on saying, I'm like, I'm not in pain. They was like, take the Percocet. And I'm like, why do I need to take the Percocet? Because I'm not in any really pain. But I think it's because you're so uncomfortable. And if you take it, you'll just be knocked out. Okay, so day 3, I took the Percocet because they kept recommending that I take it. All it did was knock me out. I mean, it didn't really do anything else. And it makes you constipated. So I took it the first day and I'm like, no, I don't want to be knocked out like that, because when I would wake up, I would be on the verge of about to pee on myself. Now, mind you, you can't just hop up out of bed because you're wrapped up, you're sore. They don't want you using none of your stomach muscles. So you imagine laying on your back with your knees up. How you think you're going to get out of bed? Like, somebody got to be virtually in the bed with you. You got to wake that person up. They got to grab your arm and push your back and lift, basically help you get out the bed. So if you don't got a person that could be with you at all times, you're struggling. So the first few days I had somebody with me the whole time. Then after that, I'm calling Quincy on the phone. I had a bell in the room. I'm ringing the bell for them to help me out of bed. Okay, something else I didn't know. They told me that I needed to drink a bottle of water every hour I'm woke. So if I'm woke 7 hours, that's 7 bottles of water. So mind you, they want you to rest. They want you to drink a bottle of water every hour. You're wrapped up. So you're drinking all this water. Of course, you're going to have to go to the bathroom. That means you're going to need somebody to assist you to get up. You got to get to the bathroom. On top of that, you got a drain or 2 that you have to check every few hours. Measure how much fluid is in there so that you can keep track of when the fluid becomes low enough for them to take out these drains. All this while your stomach is feeling tight as heck. Your stomach is so tight, you bent over, you can't stand up straight. You're walking like a hunchback, and they tell you to do that as much as possible to minimize the 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 scar, so the scar doesn't be wide. So of course I'm following instructions because I want to be snatched. I want my body to look right. They said do a low carb, low calorie, low sodium diet. I'm doing that. I'm drinking the water. I'm not really using no stomach muscles. I'm going to get my massages, which I don't think my surgeon told me that I needed a lot of massages. Um, some people don't know that, and massages are expensive. So I'm doing everything right, 2 weeks in, a little bit after 2 weeks, my fluid was low. They called me. They was like, okay, it's time for you to get the drain removed. I'm like, okay, everything's healing right. The person who does my massages have removed the tape, checked the incisions. The outer incisions, the outer stitches was already dissolved. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm on the road to recovery. I still got this drain though. Okay, so now I think I can't remember what day it was. Maybe it was, I got my drain removed on a Friday. So Friday come around, it's time to get the drain out. They had a hard time getting the stitches that was holding the drain in place out. So they finally get the stitches out. They take the drain out. And then they was trying to remove the stitches in my belly button. And I kept telling them, I think he said they were dissolvable. So they're steady trying to look for these stitches that are not there. They don't see them. They're like, we don't see no stitches. But as they're looking for the stitches, I start to feel like a little lightheaded, a little nauseated. But I'm thinking it's probably because I'm standing up and they're touching my belly button. So anyways, they take the drain out. I put my clothes on. I rewrap. I'm walking to the car. I'm like, okay, recovery after this. Okay, so then I get to the car, and when I get to the car, I'm sitting there, and I don't realize I have a fever. So I'm like just sitting in the sun, and I'm like, ooh, I got the chills a little bit. So I'm like, but maybe I'm just cold. So I'm just sitting there for like 10 minutes, and then I drive home. When I pulled up to the house, I had texted Kid's auntie because she was watching Aiden. I was like, I'm gonna get Aiden. She was like, well, he's asleep. I said, well, good, I can go home and take a nap. So when I get to the house and to take a nap, I'm so out of it that I can't stay up. Like, I'm nodding off. I lay down. I'm trying to make my calls. I can't make my calls. I lay in the bed. I'm like, I can't move. I had to muster up like enough energy to text my coworker, like, girl, I can't move. Like, I'm gonna need you to help me through the day. So she helped me. She was like, just rest. So then I finally get enough strength to take my temperature. My temperature was like at 102. I take some Tylenol. It will break for a minute. It will come right back. It's doing that throughout the day. I'm still nodding. I still can't stay up. I feel the lower part of my stomach. It's kind of hot. It turned all red, the whole lower part. And I'm like, I don't know. So I just kept monitoring, kept taking the meds. I did that the rest of Friday, and then the rest of Saturday. And then by Sunday morning, like early, I was just like, something ain't right. So then I had to call my cousin to take me to the emergency room. So we got to the emergency room. They did I think a CT scan on my stomach. They put the dye in me, looked at my stomach. So I was told, like, when you go to the emergency room, don't tell them you had no plastic surgery done. So when I first got to the emergency room, I was like, I got fever, I got chills. I don't really have appetite. The fever not breaking. It's been going on for like 2 days. I didn't say nothing about having plastic surgery. Then when I got to the back, I told them, like, yeah, I had a tummy tuck, and they asked where I got it done at. So then I told them, oh, I got it done locally. So that's why I think it's always best to get it done locally, because if you're surgeon out the country, what's the chances of the hospital going to be able to get them? So when I told them my surgeon's name, they automatically knew who it was. I didn't have to give them a number. They automatically knew how to get a hold of him. They knew how to have a conversation with him. He told them what to look for, to give him the results of the scan. So after they did the scan, talked to the surgeon, the doctor came back and said he doesn't feel like it's something he needs to come in for right now. So they have prescribed me some antibiotics, and they sent me home. So I was taking the antibiotic. I took them Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think the doctor called Monday. The doctor called Monday, asked how I was doing. The redness had went away. The fever had broke. It was still slightly red. So he was like, well, I need you to come in. I need to check to make sure everything's healing right, to make sure, the antibiotics are working. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I think my appointment was for Friday. I went in there Friday. He looked at my stomach. He looked at my before pictures. He looked at my stomach, and he just shook his head. He's like, I'm like, what? He was like, them antibiotics should have did way more than what they've done by now. You're still a little red. And I'm like, so what that mean? What does that mean? He was like, did you have breakfast this morning? I'm like, so I was like, earlier. And he was like, how earlier? I'm like 7 o'clock. And he was like, well, what did you eat? I said, a bowl of cereal. My appointment was like at 11. So he was like, how do you feel about me making a small incision to go in there to make sure everything's fine? I'm like, okay, but I'm thinking like a small incision to where I'm gonna be up and he gonna make this small incision and just look in there. And he was like, no, I'm gonna need you to put you back to sleep. And I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, because I don't know what I'm gonna see when I get in there. He said, I'm saying a small incision, but it might not be a small incision. So now I'm fucking panicking. Like, what the heck? So he was like, I need you to come back here at 1 o'clock. Can you find a ride back here at 1 o'clock? And I'm like, I guess I could figure it out. So get in my car, drive all the way back home. The kid's auntie picks me up. So we get back to the doctor's office. He was like, yeah, so they hooked the IV back in me. They give me the whole spiel. I do all the paperwork again. And I'm like, all this for like a small incision. I put the gown back on, the compression socks back on. They have me basically waiting in the room because they're waiting. the 8 hours, because you can't do anesthesia if you ate. You have to wait the 8 hours. So I'm waiting. They have me waiting the 8 hours. They take me back. She does the oxygen again. I'm out. I'm out cold. I wake up. But before they did the surgery, I had so much pressure on my left side. It was so much pressure on like the top of my vagina. It was all swollen. It was red. It was pressure. It was like a lot of pain. I was hurting on that side. So when I went to the emergency room, they said I had cellulitis. So that's what the antibiotics was for. So then he did the surgery. Well, he cut me open, went in. I don't know what he did. I don't know if he cleaned everything out or what he did. But immediately after, as soon as I woke up, all that pressure, all that pain that was on that left side was the right side, was completely gone. Like I didn't feel any of it. So I was just like, oh, so my whole left side was like completely healed. All the stitches was healed. And then my right side was back taped. And I get home and I look and I see the length of the tape. Y'all, so the length of the tape was from my belly button all the way to my hip. And I'm like, I'm telling everybody, it couldn't have been no small incision, because I couldn't see him taping all that area off for no small incision. So they was like, you don't know. And mind you, I'm taped, so I'm showering. Now I feel like I'm set back because now I got this tape. They put the drain back in. I'm still walking bent over now to the back where my back is hurting. So I'm like, here we go. I feel like I'm delayed. Mind you, Thanksgiving coming up. I'm supposed to be cooking. I'm asking him, like, is this going to set me back? He was like, no, it shouldn't. But I'm like, how could it not set me back? I got this drain back up in here, and I'm taped again from the middle to the hip. Like, so I'm a little frustrated, but I was glad the surgery went okay. So I was like, okay, at least he's attentive to what I need. So the second surgery was Friday. My follow-up appointment with him was the following Thursday. So he's looking, all the redness is gone, all the pressure is gone. I still have the tape in the drain. He's asking me about the fluid outage, and it was like 24, 23. So he was like, how do you feel about me taking this drain out? And I immediately said, no, He was like, what do you mean no? I'm like, because last time they took this drain out, I got sick. Just leave it. So he looked at me. He was like, look, I'll let you keep it for the weekend for a safety net, but Monday that drain got to come out. And I'm just like, no, because I just thought about all the stuff I went through when they took the drain out the last time. So mind you, I'm still taped. And so then I asked him, I'm like, you said you was making a small incision. How big was this incision? He said that length of that tape. I said, excuse me? He was like, yeah, I had to go in there and clean everything out. It's the length of that tape. So now I'm a little upset, because I'm thinking a small incision, my recovery time, because by this time I was supposed to be out of the boards and out of the foam boards and out of the binder in a faja. So I'm like, the length of this tape. He was like, yeah, the length of that tape. So I'm like, oh Lord. So now here we go again. So I'll get back home. It was like the recovery started over, but it kind of went a lot quicker. I don't know if it was because what he did. So I started to heal faster, like all the swelling and stuff started to go away a lot more faster. So then Monday comes and he was like, it was an appointment just to remove the drain. So the girl, she's about to take the drain out. She looks at the color of the fluid and she was like, And I was like, yeah, it wasn't this color last time they removed the drain, because the fluid was still kind of red. So she was like, let me go speak to the doctor. So she doesn't just go speak to the doctor. She comes back with the doctor, the surgeon. And he's looking, and he was like, yeah, everything healed on nicely. So he was like, he looks at the fluid, he looks at the amount, and he was like, yeah, we're good to take the drain out. So the girl is preparing to take the drain out. And like I said before, one of the nurses took the drain out the first time, and then I got sick. So I'm still kind of like, I don't want them taking out the drain. So the doctor starts scrubbing and putting the gloves on, and she was like, you're going to take the drain out? He was like, yeah. She was like, unless you want to do it. And she was like, yeah, I was going to do it. He was like, no, I'll do it. And he was like, unless you want to play rock, paper, scissors to see who's going to do it. And she's like, no, you can do it. So I noticed immediately that it was different. because when they pulled it out the first time, I felt some discomfort when they did it the first time, but when he pulled it out, I felt nothing. And when they pulled it out, like some stuff started leaking out my side. So when he took it, nothing came out, no fluid, nothing. It wasn't bleeding, nothing. He just pulled it out. I didn't feel nothing. He put a Band-Aid on there. On the way home, nothing leaked out my side. The next day, I took the Band-Aid off. Oh, let me go back. So before he took the drain out, he did remove the tape and replace the tape, so I was able to see the scar. On the way home, nothing leaked out, no fluid. The next day, I did remove the Band-Aid. I showered. He was just like, use antibacterial soap, just let it run down the scar, whatever. So I did that. The next day, I was like, I put a little piece of gauze loosely over the drain area. The next day, I looked, no fluid, nothing. It was like a little tiny bit of blood. I did the second day, was nothing on there. So I was like, maybe they didn't take the drain out, and maybe he should have did it from the beginning, but I didn't have no issues after that. Okay, so that second surgery was about, today is Wednesday. Friday that just passed was the 2-week mark from that second surgery. So another thing they don't tell you is that your stomach will be super tight. My stomach is still super tight. They don't tell you that you need to do abdominal breathing. A lot of people do not know how to do that because it's not a breathing where you fill your lungs up and blow out. It's more of you expanding your stomach and then blowing the breath out. So they want you to do that constantly. They want you to walk constantly. They want you to drink a lot of water constantly. So it's been 2 weeks since that second surgery. This Friday I will remove the tape. I am now in the faja, which I need to wear for 3 months. And every day the swelling is going down little by little. So when I go to bed at night, because my left side I feel is like more healed, I can kind of sleep on my left side. I'm still not losing any of my stomach muscles. I'm like kind of getting up. I use using my left side to lift me up. So I'm able to move a little bit more. But every morning when I wake up, I forget my stomach is tight. And as soon as the first time when I stand up, you can feel the soreness still. I don't know how long that's gonna last. Another thing they don't tell you is I researched that you're not supposed to blow your nose for a long time. Or when you sneeze, you gotta try to sneeze out your mouth, because when you sneeze, you can feel it in the stomach muscles and it hurts. So you gotta kind of hold your stomach and sneeze. So yeah, it's a lot. And don't be constipated, because that's another struggle. You're gonna have to take stool softeners, Miralax to. Okay, so it's Tuesday. This Friday will be the 6-week mark. You can't have alcohol for 2 weeks. They recommend you not have any coffee or caffeine for 6 weeks. So if you're a person who just be fiending for coffee, I don't know how you're gonna get through it. I did drink coffee every morning, but not that I was a fiend. So when I didn't drink coffee for the first week or 2, I had got bad headaches. But now I'm past that. So now, since I haven't drank coffee in a while, I don't know if I will ever drink coffee like that again. I might be an occasional coffee drinker. But yeah, you can't be drinking caffeine. You can't be drinking a lot of sugary drinks. But you can drink alcohol after 2 weeks, which is kind of strange. So here I am, almost 6 weeks into recovery. Yeah, my stomach is super tight. Do I like the results? Yes, I'm loving the results. It looks nice. So my advice is to research all the do's, all the don'ts, what it's going to entail, what the recovery looks like. If you have not looked at a tummy tuck procedure video before the tummy tuck, my advice is to not look at it, because I decided to go watch a video after, and I told myself, had I saw this video before I got the tummy tuck done, I probably wouldn't did it, because the way that it looked so crazy to me. But yeah, research all the do's, don'ts. Make sure you have money for massages, because I think my surgeon recommended about 12 massages. Massages are expensive, so Make sure you got the money for massages, because massages help with the contouring and the fluid moving throughout your body. Oh, there was one more thing that they didn't tell me, and it was something that my friend slash massage therapist. What she told me that I didn't know, which kind of makes sense, is that when you get a tummy tuck, your lymphatic drainage areas in your groin area are temporarily blocked because you've been cut, and your body has to find new routes of getting rid of that fluid. And so I didn't know that. The groin area is the largest drainage site for lymphatic fluid. So the massages help with moving all that fluid and, directing it to new drainage areas. So make sure you have the money for the massages. Make sure you get the massages. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you try to rest a lot. Make sure you have help. Make sure you drink a lot of fluids. Make sure you take vitamins. Make sure you have a good surgeon, because I originally was supposed to only see that surgeon for the pre-op appointment, the surgery, and the post-op. I wasn't supposed to see the surgeon that many times. I think I saw my surgeon at least 8 times. Every time there was an issue, it wasn't like he just left it up to the nurse to deal with it. He would come and he would come talk to me. He would look, he would examine. When he reopened me back up, he took some of the fluid out of there to have it tested to make sure I was on the right type of antibiotics. So he was real thorough with my recovery. They called a lot. They was always asking if I had questions. Whenever there was an issue, she'd be like, I'll come back. Let me talk to him and come back. She didn't just go to him and talk to him and come back. She came back with the surgeon, and he was always like hands-on looking at everything. So I'm thankful that I got a good surgeon. I'm thankful that the recovery went well, even though I had to get, a second mini surgery. But do your research. Make sure you look up everything, the do's, the don'ts, everything that you're going to need, because it gets real expensive.